So, welcome to part 6. Okay, today we are still learning about who exactly is Jesus. Who exactly is Jesus? Okay, so we are in John chapter 8 verse 48. Okay, John chapter 8 verse 48. Then Jesus answered him, "Aren't we right in saying that you are a Samaritan and demon possessed? I am not demon possessed. I am not possessed by a demon," said Jesus, "but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and is the judge. I tell you the truth, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death." Okay? So there are things that there are some mannerisms that you're getting. I'm picking from the way Christ is conversing with the Pharisees. Okay, and one of them is in verse 49, when he tells them, "I am not demon possessed. I honor my Father, and you dishonor me." Christ told them, the disrespect that I'm getting from you guys when you tell me that I am possessed by a demon, that's the highest form of disrespect that you're giving me. Okay, you understand? This is Christ, the Son of God, God Himself. Okay, and they're accusing Him of being demon possessed. It's unheard of. It's an impossibility. It's an anomaly. Okay, and that's why he's telling them that you're dishonoring me at this point. He was okay with all those other things that they were telling him. Okay, but now you're telling me that I'm possessed by a devil. This is dishonor. Okay, you get it? Telling God that God is possessed by a demon. It's how does your tongue even begin uttering such things? Okay, this is what Christ is trying to tell them, that you are dishonoring me. At the verse 52, when he told them about, "I tell you if the truth, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death." At this, the Jews exclaimed, "Now we know that you are demon possessed." They repeated it again. "Abraham died, and so did the prophets, yet you say that anyone who keeps your word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?" Jesus replied, "I glorify myself. My glory means nothing. My Father, whom you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him and keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day, and he saw it and was glad. And he saw it and was glad." Okay? "You are not yet even 50 years old." The Jews said to him, "And you have seen Abraham?" "I tell you the truth," Jesus answered. "Before Abraham was born, I am." At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, slipping away from the temple grounds. Okay, so it got hotter. the discourse got hotter, because at this point now they are trading blows. Okay, and Jesus is hitting them hard with the truth. Jesus is telling them things that they don't know. Jesus is now going spiritually deeper, because he knows that these guys are stiff-necked and they are hard-headed. Okay, and he realized that they are not understanding the spiritual things, and therefore he's heaping upon them the spiritual things. Okay, so that it can be as a testimony against them, that I told you everything and you did not know. Okay, and the first thing he's telling them is that it's about Abraham, that they keep on chest thumping, or thumping their chest with the name of Abraham, that Abraham is our father, Abraham is our father. Then he's telling them that Abraham himself longed to see my day, and he saw it and he was glad. Now, this should tell you something about Abraham. You know, Abraham was special, peculiar, in that Abraham positioned himself in spiritual things. He was a rich man who was spiritually aware, a rich man who was spiritually sane, a rich man who was spiritually inclined, okay? A rich man who sought after God to the point that even before the law of Moses, Abraham had already foreseen spiritual things. By the time the law of Moses is coming in, Abraham had tested spiritual things. Abraham had tested faith. The law came first, but Abraham had already tested faith even before the law came. By the time Moses is giving the law, it's like they are retrogressing. They are going backwards. Okay? Abraham had already tested faith, which is to come in Jesus Christ. Yet Moses is bringing the law down from Mount Sinai. Okay? And they're receiving the law, and the law is entangling them. You see this? And I don't think it was God's intention to give them the law. Okay? It was God's intention to walk with them as Abraham walked. Okay? But because they were stiff-necked people and they were complaining and murmuring all the time, God chose to give them the laws. Remember, God's plan was, and he told Abraham of this plan, he told Abraham of this plan even when he was giving him the promise at the Mount of Canaan, that your descendants will be taken as slaves in a foreign land, okay, for 400 years. And those guys will work them, and they will cry out to me, and I will hear them, and I will bring them to this same land that you are in here, Abraham, and they will possess it. God told Abraham these things as a friend, okay? God's intention when he's sending Moses to free the Israelites from Egypt was that he could take them from this land of Egypt to the promised land, okay? So that he can be their God and they can be his people. So that he can walk with them like Abraham walked with him in faith. The laws were not the intention of God from the beginning. But because they were complaining and they were murmuring and they wanted gods that they could see and all these things, God chose to give them these laws. And remember, if you read Romans, the law was given to them so that they could see that there was still something more. The law was imperfect, and God knew that this law would entangle them, and he gave it to them so that they would see that this law was not perfect, so that later on when he brings the Son will fulfill all this law, and they will be relieved and be given rest in the Son, okay? So that they may obtain this rest from the Son and honor the Son. Now, the Son is here with them in this book, in the book of John chapter 8, the one that is sent to free them from this law. And look at the kind of trouble that is giving them. They are giving the Son. They are recalling Abraham, and he's telling them, Abraham was perfect. Stop talking about Abraham. You guys are imperfect, and I'm showing you that there is someone that is greater than Abraham. Because before Abraham was, I am. I fellowshiped with Abraham as my son. And Abraham knew me, and Abraham saw of the glory that was to come because of the way Abraham was walking with me. And I'm here, the one that fellowshiped with your father, and you're denying me, and yet you're claiming that Abraham is your father. There is no way, there is absolutely no way Abraham is your father. You guys have another father, and his name is the devil. Because you are hell-bent on offing me, okay? You are hell-bent on finishing me. Abraham was not hell-bent on finishing me. Abraham was glad when he saw me. But yet you guys, from the time you've seen me, you are hell-bent on finishing me. There is absolutely no way you are children of Abraham. Before Abraham was, I am. And this is the same I am that is revealing himself in the burning bush. Okay? I am that I am. Catch it. Catch that revelation. Jesus Christ is God himself. I'm not retracting that statement. Jesus Christ is God. I am that I am. Catch it and hold on to that as we go to part 7.